it's Valerie Wallace-9 Arts here in Orono, Maine, in my basement studio with my trusty assistant, Daphne, the Ginger Ninja. And it is Saturday, May, give me a number, somewhere 20th or something. What?
23rd?
23rd. And we're going to draw the Lady of the Harbor, the Statue of Liberty.
Are you wearing your Statue of Liberty colors?
Kinda.
It's cute.
I had on a blue sweater and I was like, this is a very American blue, but then I was like, but I need to match the Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
I should be the Statue of Liberty for Halloween.
Oh, that's
sometime.
a good idea.
Don't you
You
think?
kind of have the hairstyle going
thing.
on.
Yeah.
A strong jaw.
I got
Tall.
Definitely somewhat manly features. Okay, let's do it. The thing with the Statue of Liberty is that it's so tall from here to here. You know, it's very, just a big, long, skinny thing in your picture. I'm going to have trouble squeezing it in here. I'm going to have to work at it. I might have to use a pencil. The head is really tiny compared to the size of the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like an adult size proportions. But we do, you don't have to do much fancy with the face, but you do have to fit the features on. So you don't want to be too little, but you are going to have to be aware that if you're going to fit it on there and have the proportions right, the head has to be kind of small. All right, the size of this arm from armpit to the top of the flame is about half of the body. Okay? Just keep that in mind. We get this thing way up here, but... So, if I'm looking at my page and this is the middle of my paper, I'm about another quarter of the way up. Here's 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, a little bit left. Okay? I'm going to use a light blue. Pick something light to draw with. We're going to start with a face. Middle, I'm going to go up around here. Okay? And I'm going to start with, she's got a very boxy face. If you can tilt these two sides of her face in just a little bit. Oops, that's a little too much. Actually, that's probably going to be kind of big.
Yeah.
I'm going to go inside. I'm going to just do it like that. This will be the hair.
Good idea.
Already off to a good start. Okay.
That's okay.
That's all right. It won't matter. Trust me. Every time I make a mistake, it's a great way for you to see that mistakes are no big deal because there's all sorts of ways to fix them. That's one of the things that I have learned in all my years of drawing is ways to fix mistakes because I make them. All right. She has a relatively wide neck like this. Okay. And then the next step I want you to do before I go do it down here is for her shoulders. So this shoulder is going out a little bit like this, maybe even down a little, and this side is going up a little bit. Okay? I might be able to take that off of there a little bit. Where is it? Here's my racia. Yeah. Look at that!
Wow.
Get one of these. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do it down here. I'm going to work smaller. I'm going to start here. I'm going to make 2 lines that tilt in a little bit if I can. And then I'm going to bring that across the bottom. I'm going to give her a little neck, a shoulder that goes out this way, and a shoulder that goes up a little bit. Okay? When she brings her arm up, when you bring your arm up, this shoulder gets right up against your cheek practically. But she does have a little space right here between her arm and, the shoulder's here, but there's a little space. Here, I'll do it this way. There's a little space right here, okay? But we're going to bring that up there. Okay, the next thing, I practiced this trying to make it easy, all right? That's my plan. It's been a while since I did it in class, so I'm not going to think about it. From her shoulder down to the very bottom of her dress is pretty much a straight line, although it maybe veers out a little bit, okay? And we're going to bring this, we're going to come at the shoulder, and you're just going to come all the way, almost all the way down the bottom of the paper. Okay? And hopefully, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to work for me. It's going to be pretty good proportions. Okay? The next thing we're going to do, this drapery, keep in mind when we're drawing this Statue of Liberty, obviously this would be a challenging drawing for somebody with a lot of good rendering skills. We are going to make a Statue of Liberty. It's going to look like a Statue of Liberty partly because of what, Daphne?
The torch.
The torch, because the arm is up there. It's an unmistakable pose. What other thing poses like this? Nothing. And what's the other thing?
The color.
Yeah, the color. Okay? That's it. We know it's the Statue of Liberty. It's got some pointy things on the crown. So don't worry about getting this drapery. This is something that...
And the hat. That headdress.
I just said, the crown.
Oh, you said that? Oh, yeah.
Okay. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go from the shoulder. We're going to have this one... There's a piece kind of right here. Okay? The thing is, it goes from the shoulder across her body. But this part right here, if I draw a line from this, it goes... If I go straight up, it's wider than her head. So why I'm saying that is that I don't want you to stop too close. You're going to come from her neck, and you're going to bring this across the top of her chest, and it's going to go so that if I drew a line straight up from this, it would be out wider than her face. Because she needs to be wide enough here, okay? That's probably the next important thing. And then you have a little kind of piece like this, and it comes across like that, kind of like a Miss America sash. All right? Homecoming queen sash. Homecoming king sash.
Do they get a sash?
Okay. Do they get a sash? The guys? Yeah. Okay. Here, and then this is going out across, so that if I went up straight, it would be wider than her head. Okay? That's important. There's basically three tiers. There's a skinny tier, there's a medium-sized tier, and then there's one that has a bumpy bottom to it, and then there's the dress. The toga, or whatever. I don't know if it's really a toga, but... Okay. The next one, what we'll do is we'll start here, and we'll bring a piece down, like this, nice and long. And then you can just kind of connect like this, if you want. Okay? Oops, I didn't do this part. Around in here. And then I'm going to come down. Okay? Good?
Looks
I'm excited
great.
so far?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one, it is basically here right to the side. So it's like this, but it stops. If you look at this one and where this is, they stop about the same place. And you go down like this, and this one goes up, straight up. Okay? So you have a piece that goes down a little bit, and then it goes straight up. And then, you know, when it doesn't really matter, but it does start here. Okay, and it goes down a little bit. And it goes up. And there's actually a little triangle in there if you want to be really super fancy in an easy peasy way. Okay. And then the rest of it. And this is coming out just a little bit, but it doesn't come out, doesn't flare out too much. Like that. And like this. Okay? Not so hard. It looks very confusing, but when you break it down, it's not that hard. The last bit of it is just, you know, going down to this base. And it does kind of flare out a little bit at the bottom. But we'll bring it down like this and down like this. We'll bring it out a little bit. And then there's a skinny rectangle that's also bluish. And then we would have the other part of it. I'll just draw it and I'll cover over it later. But we'll have a little piece that comes down, and then you want to bring a piece that comes out on either side. If you can fit it in. If you can't fit it in, don't worry about it. No big deal. Just a picture. Just a picture. Okay? But who doesn't want to draw this? I would never. Oh, who was it? One of your sisters had to do a project in elementary school and make the Statue of Liberty. out of paper
I did
mache.
the Liberty Bell.
And I'll tell you, I did most of it, and it was like, this is crazy. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the arm that's holding the book. Okay? Now the book is very close. The top of this book, this little line, is pretty close to where the shoulder is. Okay, so it's not way down here. It's kind of up here. And what I want you to do is make me a line that goes like this, and one that goes like this. This one can come pretty much to touch the clothing, and like this. Okay, just do that much of it. And the book itself, you know, is about the size of her head. So roughly that's what you're going for. Okay, now then what happens is she just has her hand holding it like this. So you don't really see the thumb, but you're seeing these fingers. And if you draw right along the edge here, if you draw kind of this shape, okay, and then you can kind of round it around like this, okay, it looks kind of like the fingers. I'm going to draw with some dark color after I do draw her in and I do some background. Then I'm going to use a dark color to accentuate, define all the parts. So I'm going to leave that for now. There's a connection from the shoulder like this, and then the other thing that's important is that there's a droopy piece of her dress that hangs down. Okay? I'll do that again over here. So, and maybe the easier thing is to draw this line and then do one on the top and one on the bottom. Okay? And then right in the middle, you make a nice big, remember the hands are big. It looks kind of like a gumdrop. Is a gumdrop something people still know what is? Like, do people eat those anymore?
Dot. I don't know if they call them gumdrops, but isn't it a dot?
I don't know. I don't like them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not really my thing either, but I think it's the shape of a dot.
You know, I mean, if you're gonna eat candy constantly, then sure, maybe there's time for gumdrops. But if you're not gonna eat a ton of candy, who wants to eat that? I mean,
What is the? Don't yuck somebody's
chocolate.
yum.
Peanut butter cups. I mean, I just love them. Although I do like a sour candy too. Okay.
Yeah. Starburst.
We got it. We got it. We're on there. All right. We're gonna do the other arm now. Okay. Now, where this drapery is about the top of her head. Okay. So keep that in mind. But
I lost control.
all right. Wait for this part. So we're gonna go from armpit to about where the torch is, okay? And that is, let's see, from her top of her dress about halfway. So if I measure here, because if I hang my arm down, touches my thigh. Her thigh is about here, so that's how long we want that arm to be, okay? That's gonna work out all right. Good thing I thought about it ahead of time, okay? You want it to be long. You're better off to have it go off the page and not show something than to try to squeeze it on and shrink up her arm, but that's my opinion, okay? All right, you're going to connect from here. You're going to bring that right up to that spot, all right? And this, I'm trying to think of what we did holding, maybe an umbrella. We did something just recently where we were holding something. Oh, I think it was the rope on the tire swing. What you do is you're having a loop. I don't even know if you can see that unless you zoom in. But you have a little skinny loop like that, like a little hot dog. And then on the other side, you're having the other fingers, and that's a bigger loop, okay? You bring that in a little bit at the wrist, and then bring it down like this, okay? And then what happens is the handle of the torch is like right in between the hands. That's how you make a hand. But, you know, obviously, if you can't see that at all, but you still know this is the Statue of Liberty when you're drawing, it doesn't matter, okay? Don't worry if you can't see something. Like if you were looking and you were like, Valerie, I cannot even tell what that is, then there's a problem. I need to fix. But if you just can't see some detail, but you still know what it is, don't worry about it. If you can't see it, you can't draw it, don't worry about it. Okay? We're gonna bring this arm down to here, and then we'll make a loop like that. And I might be going this way. Couple of loops that go around, and then the arm is going in here like this. Do you see that? You want to have one that's coming underneath and going up to like maybe where the elbow is, okay? At the throat, the shirt, the lines go this way a little bit, but then from the shoulder they kind of come down, and there's more this stuff. You know, because the sleeve, you get a big loose sleeve like that, and you hold it up, gravity's going to pull it down, so everything's going to droop, okay? So here, what I did is I'm going to figure out how tall, which is about half of this ball. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't do this part. Here, cross, out. And then what's happening with this too is there's a lot of, like that down low. Okay, oops, I didn't do it. Alright, so I went, half of this is here, that tells me how far I'm going. I'm going to bring it in just a little bit or I won't have room. And like this, I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to make a loop on the other side. That's going to give me the handle in between. And then I'll droop. It gets bunched up at her shoulder too. Okay, so in this one you can see that you really don't, there's barely any space right by the neck. Torch, if you can fit it in, you put a little rectangle like that. If you're drawing and you're doing it a little more carefully, it would round like this. Okay. All right, and then torch. All right. I'm going to leave that because I want to do that with red. Oops. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do the face. And what happens is the crown sits up there quite a bit. So don't go right across the top of her head. You want to curve it up like this. Okay? It'll look for a little while like it's just going to make the head look really big. But you have to put the parted hair on the forehead and then the eyes and the nose and mouth. And I did about, 4 times, and it's hard to squeeze it all in. So put it up there. Okay? Alright, like that. If I can draw it with this little stub, you can draw it too. I wonder if this one's better. Maybe. Okay. So you part the hair. It goes like this and like this. And just for the, now I know I've made the made it fit, so it's going to, she doesn't really have much expression. Okay, so you can pretty much just make eyebrows and like a little darker bit underneath. And but what we need to do is make the lines on both sides of the nose like that. Okay. Again, I'm going to probably draw this with something darker. I may even like put a pencil on there. That's called mixed media. Okay, and then hopefully you have room. And with her mouth, what it is very small little mouth with a line in the middle. And then it rounds on the top and the bottom, looks kind of like that. It does have a little bit of an ear, and then a weird couple of things that hang down like this, okay? So try that again. I'm going to part the hair, and then I'm going to make straight lines with a little underneath, and then okay. All right. Then what happens with this crown thing is there's a second piece that rounds around like that. And I'm going to wait to put the little lines in there because I'm going to do that with the darker color. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to color it in with this because it's hard to color it afterwards. Okay, and then I think I'll do the spikes too also with the darker one instead of now. Okay? But they really pull the whole thing together. Okay, that's a little lopsided, isn't it? Let's see. There. Okay, all right. Before I color in more, I want to do a little bit with the background. And what's fun, because it's so like this big thing right in the middle of the picture, is it's fun to have some color in the sky. So let's make a sunset, okay? I'm going to start with some orange down low. All right. Yeah, I did everything down there. So nice and low. Keep that on there. Because it's so blue, you know, it might be worth keeping the whole sky kind of pinkish. You don't have to be super heavy. It's not, okay? And then I have a nice, really, really nice warm yellow, which I'm going to clean off because I keep getting yucky colors mixed in. And I'm going to just overlap this color. You sort of want, with a sunset, if you can, just keep, every time you add a new color, do across a little bit on the color below before you go up. Alright, like that. And then what happens, it's pretty dark. If you squint your eyes, you can see it's relatively dark down here, but then there's a very, very light bit in the middle. Okay, so the next thing I'll do, I'll bring this yellow up, lighten it a little. The thing is, I want to get right, you know, right to the edge of my girl. I don't want to have a white line all the way around the outside. That's not good. That's why we're doing it now, and then we're going to color her afterwards. Oh yeah, then I have this nice, I just got this one. This was a good one right here. We should have, this one says it's scarlet. As far as I'm concerned, scarlet is like
Not that.
a really orangey red, not this. Would you call this scarlet?
No.
Look at it.
No.
Who came up with that idea? The Dutch? Who knows? I guess I don't know. I'm not a whatever professional color namer, so who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. How did this happen? There we go. I have not been in the Statue of Liberty. Not much for waiting in lines. But I've
Except
seen
at
it.
Disneyland.
We've seen it. Yeah, well, I wasn't much for that part of it.
No.
We're just not used to that around here.
No.
You have to wait in a line. You're like, what? Okay. Then I will take the white. And I'm going to go over the pink. I'm actually going to put some white on here, even though you really can't see it. There are some clouds, too, so. I don't know where it is, but I'll know when I go to put the blue on top, because it will change how things are. Okay. Probably up here, too. Alright, don't forget about your flame before you get too far. Another beautiful day here in Orono. Yay, no snow, no beautiful warm weather, all the sun, all the windows are open. The only problem is we can't burn, we can't have a bonfire to burn up the sticks there because it's fire danger, so much for that. I'm going to take this one, and I'm going to put this here. Maybe imagine there's a cloud somewhere in here. If you didn't happen to notice the post I made, tomorrow is Sunday, and I won't be able to do the class at 1, so I'm going to actually do it at 8, see how that goes. So that might be a fun thing if you're...
8 at night.
Yeah, well, 8 o'clock at night, and we're going to do the medic jeep or whatever. What do you call that? Ambulance?
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. But anyway, it's got the...
It's an ambulance. The ambulance was first invented to help soldiers.
There you go. Let's have some stuff you should know facts, Steph.
Yeah, well, that's actually all I have. I want some Statue of Liberty facts. Did you look any? Wasn't it France? Did France give it to us?
Yeah, it was a gift.
Thanks, France. And we didn't want it.
And they brought it over like on a ship. Isn't that crazy?
And the U.S. was like, no, I think, at first.
Yeah, but let's not be negative.
Well.
There was something.
For some reason.
Yeah, well then sometimes, they play up stuff like that too, but I was just thinking, drawing it, it's like, it's fantastic design, like look at it. And, like, what was it really like when they were designing it? Because I'm about to do a mural at Tesoro, another mural, a little more painting there.
I have to design the base of it. Isn't that a thing?
There's something, I didn't get a chance. I run out of time. Yeah. It's fun facts about it, I just didn't get them.
That's okay.
But thinking about how, you make something like that, it's going to last a while, you got to give it a little bit more thought, which is not really my forte. It's like, geez, if you're going to make a statue, or like Mount Rushmore. Yeah, you've seen it. That's crazy. Yeah. Design a face that's going to be carved into a mountain. Holy moly. Okay, all right. Oh, wait a minute, down here. Oh, I lost it. Lost it. Where's my black? Oh, there it is. So down here, what I'm going to do is bring this in, like that, good. And then the darker I put on here, the more I can use that to do my sky down here. Because what happens is very dark, it's kind of dark on the lower end, and then it's darker up here, which is how I will make the flame show up. I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
I think maybe Ruby did Statue of Liberty. Is she watching? She should send us some fun facts. What do you think it had to do with the face? Did they use somebody that they modeled it after? Is that what you're gonna say?
Oh no, I don't know. No, the base. Like an American guy had to design the base, maybe.
Because it didn't have anywhere standing up.
Well, they just had to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
They didn't think about it. That's a classic sculpture move.
I mean, I don't really know.
Like you make something super cool, but it doesn't stand up.
Yeah,
I'm all about that
I've done that.
Yeah. Whenever I have any sculpture lessons, that's the number one thing is make sure that it can stand up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's color this thing in. I want to use a nice dark color, and make it have some va-va-boom. All right. Where is the one that I just got? That's nice. Daphne! Help me, help me, help me! It's the Prussian blue. Do you know where it went?
Right there?
No, darker. Yes. See? Good job. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that unprofessional behavior. Oh, okay. Before I do the face, what I'm going to do is put the blue on here because it's definitely going to smudge, and I found that I had to do it over and over again. So I'm going to put a little blue here. The other places I kind of want it to blend, so I'm going to go in the other direction. A little bit here, and a little bit maybe on the hands, so they're just going to draw the fingers on top. The rest of it, I think I'm good. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do, we'll start at the top. All right, so I'm going to do this. Put that little thing in there. And I want to color that little piece in right here, because that's going to look like the sleeve goes, like her arm goes into the sleeve. It's kind of an important little bit. Okay? And, alright, then I'm going to go to the face. So what I'm going to try to do with this clunky thing is to outline the bangs, and I'm going to put a little just kind of dark, like ovals. I can tell you one thing I know from my art history classes, that when they made things like that, they had to account for the sense of perspective. So even though the head looks really tiny from below, you have to, in reality, when they make it, they have to make the head larger.
David.
Yeah. Yeah. David's like that, the sculpture of David, and yeah.
That's the only one I remember.
Well, the other thing is, like the Parthenon, you know, it's the building in Greece with all columns.
Do the columns get bigger?
Yeah. Is that because it would look like it was sloping and falling down, they actually, I believe the stairs have a little curve to them. And that counteracts the perspective that would make it look less stately, I believe. And stuff. I don't know, I'm not exactly sure, but I know it would work. I know it would happen for sure. Because perspective. Okay, I want to go a little darker on the neck. Okay. And when I do this crown, what I'm going to do, and I would start in the middle. Whenever you're doing something you want to come out symmetrically, especially if you want to write something on a card or whatever, start with the letters in the middle. Take the time to write on a piece of paper. And you make little stripes like that. Okay? And those little pieces that come down. Okay. The spears or rays or whatever they are on the crown, because the top one comes forward and up a little bit, it's actually a little bit shorter. The ones that are on the sides actually look a little bit longer. So anyway, you can do it any way you want. But start with the one in the middle, and then do one on either side. Try to keep it symmetrical. Oh, I already didn't. Nice one. I'll just add an extra bit over here, maybe. Is that going to help or make it worse? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Who cares? I might just have to make the other one thicker to match it. Oh, I just keep making them fatter and bigger. Oh well, whatever. That's alright. Actually goes behind the wrist, too. Okay. It's hard to draw with these stupid things. It's fun to color stuff in. So you're just, you know, adding on to these drapes of cloth. I just want to go over those. That's your line. your line, and you want an interesting line quality. Thick lines, thin lines, curvy lines, straight lines. Is there another choice?
Textured lines.
Dark lines, light lines. Yep, all kinds of lines. That's what you want.
Jig-jaggedy lines.
Jig-jaggedy lines, wavy lines. Can't do them all in one piece, but you want to think about it. Contrast. That's what you're looking for in your picture. You want, sometimes all you have to do is change, you know, whatever it is that you're drawing with, change whatever size brush it is that you're using, and those things will just change stuff up without you really having to work at it. Yeah, she's a little narrow on the face. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. There, that's a little better. Okay? So then I will take, I want to use this one. Maybe I will. I'll put a little of this on there because I just love it. In case you didn't know. In case you haven't figured it out yet. Who was it that, it's like watching me draw everything in teal and then I asked my favorite color and they were like, orange! Orange is great and all that, but
you got an orange bedroom?
I do have an orange bedroom.
You don't have any blue rooms. Oh, my room.
Your room's blue. I mean, it's not like I haven't had blue rooms. Ours used to be purple, now it's orange.
The fruit tone. You got blue pillows in my room.
And my living room is yellow and black mostly.
And dark.
And then some teal on the pillows, but there's some teal on there, but
Bruins.
My husband loves it because it's the Bruins colors. Which I didn't really realize, but I'm glad he likes it. That's probably why I didn't go. Oh, actually, he did all the painting on that one. Maybe that's why he was like excited. Probably figured it would be good luck, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like sports people's
superstitions.
Superstitions, absolutely. I'm gonna take this one now. I'm just loving it. I do love that color. Good. It's copper. Is it copper? Well, I know copper will turn greenish.
I think it is.
But I don't know that this couldn't be copper.
I thought it was.
Look it up right now and tell me. I need to know. I need to know.
Painting, Mom.
How hard will that be? Ask it. Ask Siri what the Statue of Liberty is made of.
I don't have my Siri do that.
You don't?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know.
What if you need to know how old an actor is while you're watching a Netflix show?
Demanding.
Oh, you feel like that's insulting? Like you should have to look it up yourself? That's usually what I need to know. I need to know how old actors and actresses are, and I need to know how tall they are.
Copper. What? All right, and we're pulling this guy together. Okay, so 8:00 p.m. tomorrow night. I'll show you the picture if I don't turn the camera off before I do it. 10 o'clock Memorial Day in the morning. I don't believe there's any parade, so no one will be missing parades. But I think that's better than one. I think people will be, hopefully, it's supposed to be decent, so hopefully you'll be busy doing something anyway. Even if it's just hanging with, you know, whoever's in your house. Try to do maybe something a little different. Maybe draw a picture with me, and then maybe you'll be inspired and be like, I think I'll draw some other pictures with me. So let's go to Valerie's YouTube page playlist and try some more drawings because we had such a good time and we can do it, and so can anyone, right? You can, if somebody's really good at drawing and they're like, no, that's for kids. Trust me, I have lots of people that are very, very good at drawing, better than I am at drawing, and they do them. And if they think that it's too hard, you can just ask Holly and Tammy, and they'll just tell you that
that's not true because you can follow right along and it's going to be easy. That's my job. It's not like, this is how you learn to draw. You still learn a little bit at a time, and you start by doing things, the general big things, and then you work towards the details, whether you're really good at it or whether you're just starting out. It's not like you learn one way and then you just have to learn a different way after you've gotten more experience. It's the same thing. It's just you might put more time into it. Daphne starts with me, and then she often works on something more. Be happening. I turn my notifications off. Why does it do that? Does anybody know?
Maybe, no, I don't know.
So here I just want to reinforce the... what's happening here? I think it needs a little more speed. So yeah, anybody can do it. Get that veteran. Get your... well, maybe you're not with them, but... get your grandparents to draw with you, but maybe, you know what, you draw online, and then how do you do it? FaceTime it, or do a little Zoom meeting, do it at the same time, do it with somebody, do it by yourself. If you're losing your mind because you've been alone all the time, that's hard, very hard. I'm very lucky not to have to be by myself. I like being by myself quite a bit, but they're always, no matter who you are, there comes a point where it's just like...
You don't get to be by yourself very much lately.
No, I know, but I have.
Well, I know, but
part of the reason why I had a bunch of kids was because somebody has to talk to me. Because I didn't like being alone. I can keep myself busy. But, so anyway, that's hard. So anyway, I'm thinking about you. What else do I need to do this? Anything? Oh, I need to fix something on this face. Where's it? You know what? Where's this? I'm going to take this for a second. In there a little bit, and then it's hard to do this mouth. Okay, that's hard to do without having a okay, sound good? Oh, I'll show you what I'm going to do tomorrow. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try to say going instead of gonna. That's my goal. An eagle on Monday morning at 10. This is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We'll try it out in the evenings because in June I'm going to change my schedule a little bit. This is I need to change it up a little bit. Okay? I have some projects I have to do on the houses we rent and things like that, so that would be right in the middle of the day. So I'm going to change it a little bit. And great. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to, if I don't push the wrong button, I'm going to give you a close-up so you can finish up with the picture of the Statue of Liberty, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. I had a great time. I feel great. Did I do it? Mm-hmm. Oh, battery. I thought it was plugged in. Oh. Hey, Kim. Tina! Tina, we have to get together. Hey, Vicky. I miss you. Kim. Oh, Max. Earlene, I'm glad you're back there. I was wondering where you are. Meg. Heidi Bailey. Hi, Matthias. Hi, Mom. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you.